There is a moment each night when your life is quietly waiting for you to answer it. You feel it sometimes, not with your thoughts, with something deeper. It comes just before sleep, right at the edge where your body softens but your mind is still listening. And most nights, you miss it. You scroll. You distract. You close your eyes carrying the same unfinished weight you woke up with. And then you wonder why nothing changes. How many nights have you laid there, staring into the dark, replaying conversations that never went the way you hoped? How many mornings have you opened your eyes and felt that same quiet heaviness before your feet even touched the ground? Not dramatic pain, not something anyone else would notice, just that slow, steady sense that life is moving, but not for you. That somehow other people are being chosen for something you were meant for. And your name keeps getting skipped. You have tried to stay positive. You have whispered prayers into empty rooms. You have repeated words you were told would change everything. But nothing moved. Not really. And after a while, something inside you stopped expecting anything to move at all. Listen carefully, because this is the part no one explained to you. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are not the exception to how life works. You have simply been falling asleep each night without giving your mind a direction to follow. And your mind obeyed that silence perfectly. There is one question, only one. And if you ask it tonight, the right way, something begins to shift within 24 hours. Not because of magic, but because of law. I now choose the reality that has already been waiting for me. And it begins to appear within 24 hours by divine alignment. You felt that, didn't you? Not as an idea, as a movement. Stay with it, because we are not rushing past that. Most people spend their entire lives as what I call quiet observers, not fully present in their own creation, not fully absent either, just watching, reacting, adjusting, hoping. They are what I call silent receivers. People who believe life happens first, and then they respond. But that is not how your mind works, and that is not how your life is shaped. There is a system inside you, a filter, a gatekeeper. It listens all day, but at night, it obeys. Your subconscious does not argue, it does not debate, it does not analyze, it accepts, especially in that small window before sleep, and what you give it in that moment. It begins organizing your reality around. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. You have been calling it fate, but it has been following instructions, just not the ones you thought you were giving. Right now, in this moment where you are sitting, something inside you is starting to recognize this, not as new information, as something you always knew but never fully saw. If you have ever felt like life had a list of people it was going to get to and your name kept getting skipped, leave one word in the comments that matches where you are right now. Not for anyone else, for you, to see it, to name it, because naming something begins to loosen its hold. There are 3 laws at work here, and once you see them, you will never go back to guessing again. The first is the law of inner command. Your subconscious listens for direction, not emotion. You can feel fear all day. You can feel doubt all night. But what you say, what you declare, is what it organizes around, not your feelings, your words. The second is the law of night imprint. The final thoughts before sleep sink deeper than anything you say during the day. This is not philosophy. This is neurological. Your brain shifts into a different state. Your critical mind softens. Your subconscious opens. And whatever enters there stays longer, grows stronger. The third is the law of immediate alignment. When a clear inner command is given, your mind begins adjusting your perception instantly. Not later, not eventually, within hours. You start noticing different things, responding differently, choosing differently, and those small shifts begin to move your outer world. I now choose the reality that has already been waiting for me, and it begins to appear within 24 hours by divine alignment. Say it slowly. Let it move through you. Say it out loud. Not perfectly, just honestly. Say it again. Because something in you is listening. Not your ears, your deeper mind, and it is already beginning to respond. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. There was a woman named Elaine. She was 58, living in a small apartment that never quite felt like home. Her husband had passed years earlier. Her children lived in different cities. She spoke to people, but she did not feel seen. Her finances were tight, not desperate, but always close enough to worry. Every night she would lie down and think about what she had lost, the conversations she wished she could have again, the version of life she thought she would be living by now. And without realizing it, she was giving her mind the same command every night. Repeat this. Nothing changes. Repeat this. Nothing changes. Then one night, something shifted. Not dramatically, not loudly. She heard a sentence, not from outside, from within. Ask a different question. That night, instead of replaying her past, she asked something new. Just one question. What if something good is already on its way to me? She did not fully believe it, but she asked it. And then, she let herself feel it. Not force it, just allow the possibility. She fell asleep in that question. The next morning, nothing looked different. At first, but something inside her felt lighter. She noticed a message she had ignored, an old friend reaching out. She responded, not because she expected anything, but because it felt natural. That conversation led to an invitation, a small gathering. She almost said no. That old voice came in. You will feel out of place. But something else, quieter, said go. She went. That night, she met someone. Not romantically, not immediately life-changing, but someone who saw her, listened, and over the next few weeks, that connection grew. Through that person, she learned about a part-time opportunity. Simple work, flexible, but it brought in extra income. It gave her routine. It gave her interaction. It gave her something she had not felt in years, movement. And when she looked back, she realized something. Nothing in her life changed until she changed what she asked at night, not what she forced during the day, what she allowed before sleep. This is where most people miss it. They try to fix their lives while they are awake, but your waking mind is defensive, busy, doubtful. Your night mind is receptive, open, creative. That is where the shift begins. Right now, in this very second, you are closer to change than you have been in years. Not because of effort, because of awareness. You are seeing the mechanism, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. I now choose the reality that has already been waiting for me, and it begins to appear within 24 hours by divine alignment. There is a question, just one, and tonight you will ask it differently. Not like a wish, not like a test, like a quiet command wrapped in curiosity. As you lie there just before sleep, you will ask, what is already moving toward me that I have not yet seen? And then you will stop. You will not chase the answer. You will not force a feeling. You will let the question echo, softly, gently, and your subconscious will begin working with it. Joseph Murphy wrote, "The subconscious mind is ruled by suggestion. It accepts all suggestions and acts upon them. You have been giving it suggestions without knowing. Tonight, you give it one on purpose, and everything begins to organize around that. If something in the last few minutes just settled in you, like a quiet recognition rather than a new idea, tap like, not for the video, for yourself, to mark this moment, because this moment matters more than you think. There is a scripture that speaks directly to this. Isaiah 65:24 says, "Before they call, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear." Read that again in your mind. Before they call. The answer is already in motion. Your question does not create it, it reveals it. And tonight, you are not begging for change. You are aligning with what is already prepared. That is why the question matters, because it opens a door that already exists, not one you have to build. Now feel this, right now, where you are sitting. What if the delay was never denial? What if it was simply misalignment? What if everything you thought was not happening was waiting for the right signal? Not more effort, not more trying. Just one clear inner direction. This is where the urgency comes in, not fear, clarity. Tonight is not just another night. It is a window, a small one, and it opens every evening whether you use it or not. Most people sleep through it. You will not, because now you see it, and once you see it, you cannot pretend you do not. I now choose the reality that has already been waiting for me, and it begins to appear within 24 hours by divine alignment. Say it out loud, even if your voice is quiet, even if it feels unfamiliar. Let it move through you. Say it again, because repetition is not for memory, it is for imprint. The more you say it, the deeper it settles. The deeper it settles, the more your mind obeys it. Neville Goddard said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and continue feeling that it is fulfilled until that which you feel objectifies itself." This is not about pretending. It is about allowing a new instruction to take root. And tonight you will do something different. You will not fall asleep inside your old story. You will fall asleep inside a new question, a new direction, a new openness. And your mind will begin adjusting, quietly, immediately. Within 24 hours, something will shift, maybe small, maybe subtle, a message, a thought, an opportunity, a different reaction. Do not dismiss it, because that is how it begins. Small on the outside, massive on the inside, and once it starts, it continues. There is another scripture, Isaiah 30:21. "And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it,' when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left." That voice is not outside you, it is within you, and it becomes clearer when your mind is not crowded with old noise. Tonight, you clear that space, not by force, by redirection. You are not a silent receiver, you are a conscious initiator. You do not wait for life, you speak into it. You align with it, you move with it, and it responds. Now feel the shift happening in you. Not dramatic, not overwhelming, just a quiet readiness. Like something inside you is finally listening in a new way. This is the beginning, not tomorrow, not later. Now. I now choose the reality that has already been waiting for me, and it begins to appear within 24 hours by divine alignment. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand." Tonight, you use it, gently, intentionally, and you watch what begins to move. It is done. Not someday, not when you earn it, not when you are ready. Now. If this felt like it was written for you, because in a deeper way it was, welcome home to Healing Love Space. And even now, as you sit with this, something subtle is rearranging inside you, not loudly, not in a way you can explain, but in a way you can feel. Because the truth is, your life has never been waiting on time. It has been waiting on a signal, and signals are not sent through effort. They are sent through clarity, through quiet, repeated inner direction, through what you return to again and again, when no one is watching. That is why this moment matters, this very second, not tomorrow night, not when you feel more ready, right now. Because awareness does not come twice in the same way. You are seeing something tonight that you did not fully see before, and if you move with it, it will move with you. But if you ignore it, it fades back into the background of everything you already know, and everything you already know has not changed your life. That is the honest part, not harsh, just real. You have gathered ideas, you have listened to teachings, you have understood things intellectually, but understanding is not what shifts reality. Imprinting does, and imprinting happens in repetition, at the right moment, with the right emotional openness. That moment is always before sleep, that doorway between your conscious mind and your deeper mind, where logic loosens and suggestion enters, where your defenses soften and your identity becomes flexible again. That is where your life is quietly rewritten, Not in one dramatic decision, but in small, consistent inner directions, given at the same sacred time, night after night. And tonight, you are stepping into that with intention. Not by accident, not by habit, but by choice. I now choose the reality that has already been waiting for me, and it begins to appear within 24 hours by divine alignment. Feel how that lands differently now. The same words, but not the same meaning, because something in you has opened. And once something opens, it cannot fully close again. You may forget, you may drift, but you will always remember this moment existed, and that changes everything. There is another layer to this, one most people never reach, because they stop too early. They try it once, maybe twice, and when the outside does not instantly rearrange, they return to old patterns. But the truth is, the shift begins inside long before it becomes visible outside. And if you are not aware of that, you will miss the evidence that it is already working. You will overlook the small changes, the subtle nudges, the different thoughts, and you will call it nothing, when in reality, it is everything beginning. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how one small thought can change the way your entire day feels? Not because anything external changed, but because your interpretation did. That is the same mechanism, but used unconsciously. Now you are using it consciously. And that is where power returns to you. Not loud power, not controlling power. Quiet, precise, undeniable influence. The kind that does not force outcomes, it allows them. There was a man named Robert. He was 62, recently retired, but not in the way he had imagined. His work had ended suddenly, a restructuring, a polite conversation, a handshake that felt final, and suddenly, his identity felt uncertain. He woke up each morning with nowhere specific to go, no clear purpose, and what no one told him was how heavy that silence would feel. Not peaceful, empty. He tried to stay busy, fixed things around the house, watched television, called old friends. But something inside him kept asking, is this it? Is this what the rest of my life looks like? And that question, repeated enough times, became a quiet conclusion. Yes, this is it. And without realizing it, he began reinforcing that reality every night, falling asleep with that same underlying belief. Nothing new is coming. Everything meaningful is behind me. That was the signal, clear, consistent, accepted. Until one evening, something interrupted the pattern, not dramatically, just a moment. He caught himself thinking that same thought again, and for the first time, he questioned it, not fully rejecting it, just not accepting it automatically. That small gap created space, and in that space, something new entered, a different possibility. He did not feel convinced, but he felt curious, and that night, instead of ending his day with a conclusion, he ended it with a question. What if something meaningful is still ahead of me? He did not force belief. He did not try to feel excited. He just asked, and allowed the question to exist. The next morning, something shifted, not in his circumstances, in his attention. He noticed a flyer he had ignored before, a local community workshop, woodworking, something he had enjoyed years ago, but never pursued seriously. Normally, he would have dismissed it. Too late, too unnecessary. But something in him, quieter than logic, said go. So he went. That one decision led to another, and another. Within weeks, he was not just attending, he was creating. Within months, he was selling small handcrafted pieces, not because he needed the money, but because something inside him felt alive again. And when he looked back, he realized something simple. Nothing changed until the question changed, not the effort, not the circumstances, the inner direction. That is what you are doing now. You are not forcing your life to move. You are allowing a different signal to guide it. And signals, when repeated, become identity. And identity shapes reality. This is not overnight transformation in the way people imagine. This is deeper, more stable, more real, because it begins at the root. Right now, in this moment, something inside you is deciding whether this is just another idea or something you will actually live. And that decision is quiet. No one else hears it, no one else sees it, but it defines everything that follows. So let's bring you back here, not to the future, not to what might happen, to now, to your body, to your breath, to the space you are sitting in, because this is where it begins. Not out there, in here. You are not waiting for a sign. You are becoming one. Through what you choose to repeat, through what you allow to settle, through what you give your attention to. Consistently. I now choose the reality that has already been waiting for me, and it begins to appear within 24 hours by divine alignment. Say it again. Not rushed, not mechanically. Let each word land. Let it move through your chest, not just your mind. Because your body listens too, and when your body begins to agree, the shift becomes faster, deeper, more natural. There will be moments, maybe even tomorrow, where doubt tries to return. Old thoughts, old patterns. That does not mean this is not working. It means your mind is adjusting, reorganizing, letting go of what it has repeated for years. You do not fight those moments. You notice them, and then you return, gently, back to the direction you have chosen. That is the difference. Not perfection. Consistency. Soft. Steady. Repetition. That is what creates change. Not intensity. Not force. Consistency. And tonight, you begin that. Not as a test, as a commitment, a quiet agreement with yourself, that you will no longer fall asleep inside old stories. You will fall asleep inside new possibility, even if it feels unfamiliar, even if it feels small, because small, repeated, becomes powerful. There is something else happening here, something even deeper. You are rebuilding trust with yourself, not through promises, through action, through showing up for this moment, differently. And trust, once rebuilt, changes everything, because when you trust yourself, you stop abandoning your own direction. You stop doubting your own inner movement. You begin following it. And that is where life starts to feel aligned again. Not random, not distant, responsive, alive, connected. Right now, you are not the same person you were at the beginning of this. Something has shifted, even if you cannot fully explain it. And that is enough, more than enough, because change does not begin with clarity. It begins with willingness. And you are here, still listening, still open, still present. That means something, more than you think. I now choose the reality that has already been waiting for me, and it begins to appear within 24 hours by divine alignment. This time, feel it as a decision, not a hope. A decision. Quiet, firm, certain, and let that be the energy you carry into tonight. Not pressure, not expectation, just direction. Simple, clear, given at the right moment. And then, you rest. Because your mind will continue, your subconscious will organize, and life will begin responding in ways you may not expect, but will recognize, because they will feel aligned, natural, right. And when they happen, you will remember this moment. You will remember that it started here, not outside, inside, in a quiet decision no one else saw, but you felt. And that is enough. It has always been enough.